I had mixed feelings. On the one hand, I was a guy from New York, right? I did not grow up listening to country music. I had been playing in the Sir Douglas Quintet, which was a straight, flat-out blues band. I mean, Doug's attitude was that white people didn't know anything about music, that he was lucky to somehow know something. And their whole job with me was to teach me to be soulful. You know, like, you know, for a New York cat, John York, you're pretty soulful. He used to call me the New York cat, right? So I had come out of this crash course in, you know, Texas blues, Texas R&B. And then when I played with Johnny Rivers, it was kind of the same thing. Johnny was kind of a R&B kind of guy in Mississippi and all that. So when I was thrown in the middle of that, I had to approach it from sort of a anthropological, ethnomusicological, is that such a word? Viewpoint. I had to say, what's real here? In the same way that I was exposed to all this black music, and I'm not black, what's real here? And I felt that what was real was that Clarence and Gene were the real guys. I mean, that music was in their blood that they were playing, right? And that Roger is a tremendous librarian and cultural historian of authentic music. I mean, wailing ballads and sea shanties and amazing stuff that Roger knows, right? So I was able to hook into that. I was able to say, you know what? This is territory that I have to embrace. I have to find the essence of what this is. And I have to learn what this is. So I had all these things going on in my mind because I had to, I mean, I was always the guy who would come in and fix the band. Every band I ever joined was ailing, was wounded. So I had to come in and I had to sing the high parts like David Crosby, and I had to play the bass like Chris Hillman. So part of my mind was saying, no way, I'm going to be myself. I'm not going to play and sing like those guys. But I found it very natural to sing in David's range. And I did try to not play like Chris Hillman, but I think he's an amazing musician. But no way was I going to copy his style. I just think he's a phenomenal musician. So I had that going for me in the sense that I had to look at it as a learning experience. I couldn't step in and say, okay, I'm bringing all my expertise in these areas to this band. The only thing I could bring was my musicality, which I've never questioned. And it was really good for me to have to rise to the challenge and say, okay, I know nothing. I know nothing about bluegrass. I know nothing about country swing. I know nothing about all these forms. Teach me. Tell me what to do. And they were really wonderful. All those guys were really, especially Clarence and Gene, where they loved singing all these bluegrass harmonies that cross each other. So they would teach me a verse of a song and have me sing that verse over and over again so they could do all these beautiful harmonies and things.